What's up YouTube? My name is Midnight Wolf and today we're going to do another video on Dreams PlayStation where I cover the development process of my project where I'm making a character inspired by the game Infamous. And so like a lot of his abilities and stuff that he can do in Infamous is kind of where I'm taking inspiration from and I am putting into this puppet. But that being said, I do want to make this a game. So anyways, this video is going to be broken up into segments. So we're going to have kind of some of the bug fixes section and some of the additions section, and also a section where we talk about some of the announcements that I have. And if you've seen the first clip of this video, you know that there's going to be some art that we are going to be implementing in this video, and that kind of goes hand in hand with the announcements section, so definitely stay tuned for that part of the video. So anyways, without further ado, let's get started on the first part of this video. So some major bug fixes that I had to fix this week. Well, really one in particular, and it was a pretty big game-breaking bug. So basically had to do with these energy cubes. So I had to completely revisit the energy cube system and completely, well, not completely, but I had to fix it to where this bug didn't occur, because basically what would happen is if you absorbed this cube, and let me go ahead and use up all my energy to help demonstrate this. When I would absorb a cube and then run over and absorb a second cube, when the first cube reset, so here in a little bit you'll see it turn back on basically, or recharge to full capacity. When that would happen, it would basically give me 2 extra energy. So I would absorb this cube, then I would absorb a second cube. Whenever the first cube reset its time, then I would randomly be given two additional energy, and that's obviously not what's supposed to happen. So definitely had to revisit it and fix it. Then another issue that I kind of came across in the sort of energy system is I wanted to see how many cubes that I could fit on this one world, and it was very underwhelming what I could do. So I think I put on there about 100 cubes, and that was very underwhelming in terms of how many, or how much thermo that took up. So I had to get to thinking about potential ways to fix that issue, and so I kind of landed on something that will definitely help. So yesterday, I believe it was, I did another test to compare the results, and so I put 200 cubes in this world, and that raised up the current thermo up to 37%. So that was with 200 cubes, and that's a little higher than what I really care to admit. But that being said, the new system, that was just 200 cubes. With the new system, I'm able to implement about 3,000 cubes at the same cost that it would take to do the 200 cubes. So obviously there's a significant difference, and that's kind of where this new system kind of comes in handy, and so that's what I'm about to explain. So I have it set up to where there are a total of 50 cubes total in this entire map, and I also have zones. So each zone will have 50 cubes tied to that zone. Now that being said, it's going to recycle the same cubes basically, so the same 50 cubes. Now some zones may not even be a total, or the full 50 cubes. Some zones may be just a few cubes here and there. It just depends on how I disperse the zones and whatnot, and how I line out the map. But as of right now, each zone would have about 50 cubes maximum. And what's going to happen is in this zone. Right now I'm in the first zone of this test environment. So you notice that there's obviously a bunch of different cubes in this zone. But I have one other zone in this test environment as of right now, and it's tied to these floating islands over here. So here in a second, you're about to see that a bunch of these cubes that you see over there are about to teleport to these islands. So boom, they teleported. So I'm recycling the same exact cubes that were over in other parts of the map. And the way that I kind of thought of that is you're not going to occupy more than one space at a time. So if I could have enough cubes to where you're not going to absorb the same cube twice, after a certain amount of time because of the reset time, which I'll explain that a little bit, and kind of my plans for that, to alleviate that kind of issue. But that's kind of the idea, is strategically placing these zones as well as these cubes in such a way that you're never going to absorb the same cube right after the other one. And what I mean by that is, like, let's say you absorb this first cube right here, and you absorb it completely, and then you go over to this other zone over here. Well, by the time that cube resets, you may already be in this zone, and you might try to absorb that same exact cube. So let's just say for the sake of this example, this is that same cube that I absorbed over there on the platform. That would be annoying as the player, to go to absorb it needing energy and it not giving you energy because it's turned off. So that's kind of where a lot of the strategy is going to come in handy. So I'm definitely going to have to really work hard at making sure that the cubes are far enough away from each other to where you're not going to absorb the same cube twice, or at least not within the amount of time that it takes for it to reset. And there's a total of 50 of these cubes. Now right now I only placed I don't know, maybe 20 of these. The other 20 or so, 20, 30 cubes or so are behind that wall that's on the other end of there. But in the floating islands zone, I didn't use all 50. So if you paid close enough attention, you could kind of see around the corner over on that back wall over there. You could still see cubes that were not teleported. So that's kind of the idea, though, is like, you only need the cubes that you need for whatever zone. So you're not going to, there might be zones that don't require 50. But with that being said, I think I can comfortably fit about 60 zones in one map. And it would, like I said, it would be about the same cost that it would take to put 200 cubes without these zones. So definitely a lot more efficient in terms of thermo. And of course, if Dreams ever increases their thermo, that might be subject to change. I might tweak some certain things, but and I'm talking about for the PlayStation 5, if they ever raise the thermo limit on the PlayStation 5, there might be a few changes to that system. But overall, that's kind of what to expect, is being able to recycle the same cubes. So anyways, moving on. So the good thing about that bug that I had earlier, that I mentioned earlier, and fixing it, the good part about me fixing that bug was that it allowed me to fix another issue that I had. and it had to do with the animation of the HUD element in the upper left-hand corner. You know, your energy HUD. Um, it wasn't as smooth as what I wanted it to be, and so when I went back to rework the system to fix that bug, not only did I fix that bug, but it also made the animation for the energy a lot smoother. So I'm about to switch over to an old video or video footage to kind of show off the how stuttery that animation is. Then I'll cut back to this video to show off the improvement. So yeah, here's that clip. So if you absorb this cube. Alright, so now you've seen that clip and how it used to be. Now here's the improved version. So are you ready? Go. See, it just looks so much better. I'm very happy with that. That's kind of the way it was intended to look, and for some reason you know, it wasn't working or as smoothly as I wanted, and then I finally figured out why, and now it looks a lot better. So definitely good things came out of that bug for sure. So I mean, you know, and that's the thing, you know, you know, people always are like hounding bugs for existing, but you know, sometimes those bugs cause better outcomes. You know, whenever the developers go back and revisit a bug that they, you know, that has popped up in their game, and they fix it, and then it maybe sheds light on other areas that they can improve. So definitely a positive thing that bug kind of created. So anyways, yeah, moving on. And this video is going to sound a lot more like a energies system, showing off the kind of more of the energy system in terms of the new mechanics or, you know, changes to this game, or, you know, developmental improvements and changes. But that's really what I focused on the most this week, was fixing that issue, as well as you know, adding certain things. So one of the things that I changed was the movement abilities and how they affect energy. So you can now see that as I'm flying, it's gradually using up energy, and that was kind of important to me as a coder, or, you know, as this developer, to kind of help balance the game, because if you have infinite flight, that's almost a little bit too much freedom in a video game. I mean, it is nice to have infinite flight, don't get me wrong, but it's probably a little bit too much freedom to be able to just fly anywhere, and that's when more and more bugs start to happen. So if you kind of limit or put some limitations on it, then it's not a big deal. But that being said, like, you can still absorb energy from cubes while flying. See, like, I'm flying, I was able to absorb that cube, that sort of thing. So, you know, you can still do that while you're flying, and so you don't have to be knocked out of the flight mode, as long as you are able to absorb a source of electricity, and it will basically reset for you. So there's that. But another thing that I got to thinking of in terms of why limit that is world boundaries. I don't want you to be able to just fly infinitely up into the sky. I definitely want there to be a limit to that, but I didn't want there to be like a hard limit to where you hit like this invisible wall that just doesn't let you go any further. You know, invisible walls, in my opinion, kind of stink as an open world fan. You just when you have an invisible wall, you kind of get that sense of enclosure, and you know, that's not always fun as an open world game fan. So that is another element to having a limit to how far up you can fly. Is now, instead of having to put an invisible barrier that kind of breaks immersion, you naturally have a barrier. Like, you know, it's something that's more natural. So that's kind of another reason why I wanted to kind of put that like little limitation but obviously you can tell that I made it to where it doesn't drain at a very fast rate, for very good reason. Now, so that's the main change to, how flight is how it behaves with energy. Now, I also made super speed behave with energy as well, so you can't just run infinitely. But I also tweaked some other things about super speed that um, it may uh, it may upset some people. I don't know how other people are going to take this, but I tweaked super speed to where you're not going to be zooming as fast as what I had it. Um, for one, it was way too buggy. Two, it was way too hard to control. So I know a lot of players would probably get really annoyed with the super speed. So I completely made it to where I made it to where you go a lot slower, and my kind of counter way to balance that, to still make it a very valuable source or valuable mode of transportation slash combat tactic, is not only will you increase in speed a little bit. I mean, you're still going to have an increase in speed, but the world around you will slow down. So it'll give kind of the illusion that you are going super speed. So right now I just have the speed lowered down. I don't have the logic in place to slow the world down yet, but mainly because I don't have very many things that move around in the world just yet. Well, once I start having things that kind of move around in the world, if there's like a car or something on the street that's driving, I would make it to where the animation slowed down. But anyways, that being said, this is kind of a speed that I've kind of landed on to kind of help prevent my character from glitching through the walls, because that was kind of one of the main areas that was having, was the character was running so fast that he would literally just run through walls, and I don't really want that mechanic in the game. So that's kind of where we're at. So all that long explanation on super speed, here's kind of what that now looks like. So there is definitely an increase in speed, but it you can't really, it's harder to run through walls now, and you can kind of now see how much slower you go. Here's normal speed, here is super speed, but it'll be kind of made up at, it'll be made up by the speed of time being slowed down. So like I said, it'll give the illusion that you're going super speed. So there's that. So right now, yeah, I hope that doesn't make too many people upset that it seems a lot slower, but really that's the fastest I could get the character to go without glitching through the walls like all the time. If I can figure out other ways of increasing the speed without glitching through walls, I will definitely do more tests and whatnot to fix that. But that's the speed we're going to go with for right now. So, but yeah, so that in terms of developmental changes, that's really the main gist of what all I've gotten done today, or not today, this week rather. But that being said, this video is going to have other important things to talk about. And in fact, I think I'm going to switch the rest of this video over to an announcements segment, but I'm going to just have, or probably use some of the same gameplay or same footage that I have in my raw gameplay video. And if you want to go check that out, just go to my channel, and I have a video where I just kind of show off some raw gameplay and try to break the game as best as I could, to find bugs and whatnot. So anyways, all that to say, yeah, I'm switching over to the next footage, and I will be now covering the announcements. So thank you so much, and see you in that part of the video. All right, real quick, I just wanted to say that I did forget a couple of things in terms of what I added this week, and I forgot to mention the teleportation, how those affect energy as well, because teleportation also affects energy. So literally, one teleportation spends one energy orb as of right now. And then that also includes the teleportal one, the one where you can plop down a portal and you teleport. But the difference between that one and the main teleportation ability is the portal one, it spends energy when you place down a portal, but when you teleport, it doesn't use energy. So you can, whenever you plop one down, you can absorb absorb energy, and then whenever you teleport, you'll have full energy. So that's kind of the trade-off for that kind of ability. So there's that, and then in terms of the as of right now, I'm gonna make it to where my ultimate abilities probably cost like all of your energy to use, but I may change that, I'm not sure. But I'm considering my ability where you can teleport enemies away as an ultimate ability. So as of right now, that spends about 15 orbs to cast, so therefore it would give you if you have full energy and you use it, you would only have that big orb left. And if you or if you spend one of those orbs and then you use a teleport, then you have no power, no energy. And the reason why I did it that way is because I wanted there to be an opportunity to where when you do use that, you still have some sort of ranged ability, because right now I have it to where if you have energy, you can use zap an infinite amount of times, but if you don't have energy, then zap is shut off. So I wanted you to be able to still be able to use some ranged abilities immediately after you teleport an enemy away, because of how costly that can be. So that's kind of the official add-ons that I forgot to mention in the gameplay and show off. But I mean, I'm sure y'all's imaginations can kind of think of what that looks like. And then also, I was going to show a sneak peek of another system that I was working on that's brand new, doesn't really have anything to do with the energy system, and that was the grenade system. I am currently working on that. That was requested in my last video on something that a commenter wanted was me to do a grenade, and I have a prototype of it running, but it's not ready to be shown off yet. And I was going to do a sneak peek, but I forgot to do the sneak peek in the video footage, so I do apologize for that. But hopefully it'll be ready by the next video to show off, to where it's more fine-tuned. I'm definitely going to focus on that more in this next development period. So yeah, that's in terms of that, that's what we got going on. Now to the official news. So yeah, so now one of the official announcements that I have, and I'm pretty excited about it, has to do with one of the things that I kind of mentioned in my previous video, and that was that I want to kind of open the doors to this project to kind of expand the team from just me to other very, very talented individuals. And one guy in particular actually reached out to me in the last video's comments, and he said that he really wanted to be a part of it. So of course we got to talking kind of about what his skill sets were, and he is an artist. And one of the areas that I don't think I mentioned in that video, but is definitely very needed when it comes to game development, is concept arting. Wow, that's probably a new word. But concept art. So yeah, so we now are a team instead of just me, and I'll announce his name here in a second, but he's already, within the last week, already dished out a couple of concept art that is really awesome, and it really gets some of my ideas from out of my head and onto a screen. So I'm definitely excited to show off some of those concept arts. And then we have right now 2 of them that we're ready to show off, and so that will be shown off later on. But yeah, so without further ado, the new member of this team, well, really the first member that's not me, part of the team is Epic Raccoon Gaming. So I really want to say thank you so much for being willing to participate in this project. This is your role is going to really impact this tenfold. I mean, it's going to be awesome to be able to get those ideas on a paper, or not really paper, but on a screen, visualized, so that way a sculptor can come along and have reference material to go off of. So I definitely really do appreciate the hard work that you've already shown, or you've done this week, and I look forward to all of the other art that you share with me, so that way we can really get this project going. So that's yes, thank you so much, Epic Raccoon Gamer, for your hard work and dedication. And he's a really nice guy, and since he is one of the first people to join the project, he's going to have a kind of a higher status in terms of the game developer. So I mean, he and I are going to kind of bounce ideas off of each other, and really the same is true for really any person that we get to join this project. Is, if you have an idea, don't be afraid to speak out, because this is a project, a fan-made project, by the fans and for the fans. And so if you have any ideas or suggestions that you have, either as a developer on this project, or even in the as a commenter in these videos, please make your comments heard. So please post that in the comments, or if you join the team, please feel free to have freedom to suggest any kind of change, or any new feature that you want added, that sort of thing. But yeah, so that being said, Epic Raccoon and we kind of got to thinking about, okay, if we're going to make this official, what kind of name are we going to call ourselves? Like, what's going to be our kind of studio name or whatever? Even though we don't really have a studio, but just for the sake of making it feel more official, what are we going to call ourselves? And we landed on Loyal Breed Studios. So that's another major announcement of this project, and it will really just in general is we're going to call ourselves Loyal Breed Studios. And I believe he is currently working on art for our logo. I don't really have any ideas on a logo yet, so that's another thing we're gonna concept and kind of come to a conclusion on. But once that's ready to go, we will show off our new logo for our studio name. So yeah, Loyal Breed Studios, and it's inspired by wolves, because wolves are my favorite animal. So anyways, so that's kind of where we're at with that, is now we are kind of an official team. Right now, a team of 2, but we are open to any talented individuals out there that loves the Infamous series and wants to take part in this fantastic project. So, and more specifically, the team of people that we need right now is, we need a sculptor, one that can sculpt really any asset in the game, ranging from characters to level design, asset designers, just really any kind of asset. If you're good at sculpting in Dreams and you love Infamous, I would definitely hope that you would want to reach out and make your staple on this project, kind of thing. So yeah, so we're needing a sculptor. We also need animator. We need somebody who can pretty much bring those sculpts to life. Is definitely a very important aspect of this project. A lot of the powers and stuff, they need solid animations to really give that infamous feel and that sort of thing. And then another one that we might incorporate in terms of another role, if the sculptor isn't really, they don't really know, aren't very good with like special effects, we might have a special effects artist, somebody who can do special effects. But I would imagine that the sculptor would be able to do special effects too. But you know, in case they can't, you know, that's definitely a role that we're definitely open to having. So we'll need a special effects person, and then another person is sound design, and that includes music and also sound effects. But we could also split those up into two roles. So, you know, if you're good with music but not necessarily good with sound effects, then you know we would have you join as our music guy, and then or girl, of course. And then if you're good with sound effects but not good with music, then you'd just be our sound effects guy. So definitely open to those. But if you can do both, then I mean that would be awesome as well. So we'll definitely kind of visit that whenever we start getting more and more people involved in this project. And then I think those are the main roles right now that I can think of. We might need other roles here and there once we kind of start to see a need. But right now those are the kind of the core main group. We might could have a second person who works on mechanics, because I mean I don't have any coding experience, and so maybe somebody with coding kind of experience, maybe they can come and join in as well to kind of give their 2 cents on gameplay mechanics and how to get things polished and working properly. Because I mean I'm doing the best I can with with my knowledge. But you know, I'm definitely open to having somebody else come in and maybe polish some of the things that I already have, or you know, wants to kind of take that responsibility on. Somebody that's more probably more equipped than I am to do that sort of thing. So you know, that's definitely another area that, you know, if you're good at, you know, the programming elements of Dreams or whatever, or of game development in general, you're definitely welcome as a member of the team as well. So yeah, that's kind of the main announcements for this sort of video. So I promised some concept art, and so we're pretty much going to finish off this video with some concept art. And I don't know, I might do a video where we really highlight the concept art. Where we may talk about some of the plans that you kind of can see from the concept art, but right now I just kind of want to show off what Epic Raccoon has done, and maybe in the next one we'll really dissect some of the concept art. So that would be a good standalone video actually, and I might even do that soon after this video. So anyways, yeah, that's what we got going on, and please leave a like and comment, and you know, if you feel the need to subscribe to really help this channel grow, because ultimately if this channel grows, that means this project will grow and it will become more and more of a reality. And I did reach out, you know, if Sucker Punch, if they watch this video and you know, are kind of alarmed by it, that hey, this is our property. I did reach out to y'all through Twitter to ask for permission about the project. Or, you know, we're not making any money. This is a nonprofit project. We're just doing it because we love it. We love the universe that you've created, and we would like to explore it some more. So I did reach out to you guys through Twitter to ask for your permission. I have yet to receive a response. So if you somehow catch wind of this project and you watch this video or something, I do ask that we have your blessing, and maybe check your Twitter messages to see if you can find my message that I have for the project. So yeah, please take a look at that if you do see this video. But if so, I mean, or you could just literally just text me in the comments of this video. Like, you can say yay or nay, stop this project, or keep it going, that sort of thing. But I really hope for your blessing to be able to continue this video, or continue this project rather. So that's kind of where we're at in that situation. But yeah, so here is the concept art, and I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much. Bye.